Hello and welcome back to a foreigner and family in the Philippines. And I'm actually over here to do a root bulb update on the banana root bulbs that we planted about 3 weeks ago. But I have this banana tree here. I know this is not a good bunch to show as far as, but I don't have another choice. This is the only area I have this little patch of, well, I have a couple of these little patches of bananas, but I'm not sure what kind of banana that is. So if you're watching this and you recognize that bunch of bananas, please leave a comment in the below so that way I can look at it and see what kind of banana that is. And this, I'm in the area that we had some trees, mostly falcata and rubbers with a couple of there are a couple mangoes. I've shown this area before, the Lanzoni, Santos, a variety of other trees. So, but this is where we first planted the root bulbs, and I knew because it was the end of the dry season, they get some shade and some moisture retention back here. So the best chance of survival of these guys was going to be back here. But it's been 3 weeks. We finally had a good rain yesterday, so I'm hoping these guys sprout up. But I've got to do an update video on this just to show. May have to hold off until we find out how good that planting of the root bulbs actually is. I would think these guys would be sprouting up already. And I was told when I purchased the root bulbs that you did not need the water, but I still was a little leery of that, so I planted them back here in some areas that get some shade, so they would hopefully survive until the rains came along. We've got to get back here. Some of these vines, they're still pretty clear, but these vines are kind of taking over the sticks, and as soon as they do sprout, the vines will attack those bananas. So I'm not showing any of these holes here as sprouting. Not a good sign for my root bulb banana planting. I was hoping to do something productive, get some of those, get something going while I could. Since we're on the lockdown, I couldn't get my banana seedlings, my tissue cultures from Davao, which we have already placed the order. Okay, we have to pick those up as soon as the lockdown ends. Hopefully it ends one day. But we did manage to get the Suzu Elf back. Which I don't even like the idea of driving that distance to Davao. It just doesn't feel like it should even be running. So that's one where the banana did sprout. So, and we're on the verge of getting some more rain, so I'm confident that one will be fine. But one out of the probably about 700 or 800 total that we planted, and that was the second one. So two out of the 700 or 800 that we planted, not a good percentage of survival. And this is the ones out here that we transplanted. The ones, well, the big ones are the ones where where we had planted that corn. The smaller ones are where we had just taken we transplanted the suckers from those mainly, and we transplanted the suckers from these mainly, and they're rebounded. It was dry season, so they weren't doing so hot, but they are surviving, so that's good. And with this rain coming, they'll be thriving. I'm gonna go check one more area for those bananas, see if they're sprouting. Okay, so I'm back over here at the edge of the falcata and rubber, and we planted a couple of rows of those banana root bulbs out this way. It's 10 a.m. and I've still got a little shade in this area. So I thought that would be the best chance for their survival, even though the soil isn't the greatest here. But we did have ete and some, actually, just the ete on this. I've got some other mixes that I'm using now. I'm going to be using lime and the ete and some 1414, and then some Pordan just to protect it from pests, to get it started at least. So these root bulbs here, these were the ones that we planted last, so maybe a week and a half ago. I'm not showing any of these coming up. And then I got this row in between the row that's going to be cacao eventually. Hopefully, one day. Yeah. And this is something I'm seeing quite a bit of, and I've been told that these pineapples would not grow to cut them from some folks that have actually sprayed for Del Monte. They say they're not going to come back unless I spray. And I think that's partly true. They don't necessarily come back if you're not spraying them for, I believe it's 2 years. But if you're spraying it, each year you'd be able to have it. But I've seen several hundred of these. This one's a little one, but it just happens to be here. So they are sprouting. So I wanted to film that one. And yeah, right along this row, I know I saw some more. I mean, they're around. Yeah, just the one. I wanted to really. Oh well. There are some where there's like 10 right there. So, and that's fine. If I've got some pineapples here and there that survive, then that's great. I think we did a couple rows down on this side as well because it was hugging the line. So that's the update on the root bulbs. I won't drag it out any longer. It's just I'm starting to get a little concerned that they haven't sprouted, but I think we need a little bit more rain, and we're going to have it the next couple days. So once they start shooting up, or I've determined that they're not going to, I'll let you guys know. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.